Yes, sir. We are back with another Chisme with DoKnow. And I got a special guest, my favorite ex-crackhead,
Come on,
ex-meth head,
come on,
ex-battle rapper, ex-Drake tweeter. You feel me? We got Lush in this joint. What's up, man?
man. Lozano Uno, aka Chismoso, was Gucci. You feel me?
What's up, Lush? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, it's good to be here.
My guy, I appreciate you for being here. If you can fix your chair a little bit, you kind of face me this way. You kind of face me a little bit. Yeah, you good. Yes, sir. How you doing, bro?
It's chilling, man. You feel me? It's crazy ass schizophrenic weather. Don't know if it want to be. God don't know if you want to be crying or smiling. It's wild.
Yeah, God is a wild man, dog. How you feel about religion, Lush?
I'm Christian.
Like diehard Christian?
I mean, what? How do you define diehard Christian?
Like, are you like ex-crackhead turned super Christian, go to church every weekend?
No, I mean I still masturbate. So
Okay, fact.
God does every time.
You masturbate?
God cries.
That's crazy. I masturbate a lot. I make the for cry a lot.
That's why it was raining earlier.
I was beating my shit.
Yeah, we all felt it, bro. Unfortunately, but it's very common for people that are former addicts to become religious. And look, you see, I got the little baby iced out Jesus and all that.
Yeah, talk about it.
I've been, and I think that for me, spirituality has always been like I would do a lot of foxhole prayers. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
Like when things are all bad, you feel me? I see them red lights in the rear view. When you know what I'm saying? When bad situations are happening, that's when I'll hit my knees.
Oh, so you only pray when you need them.
That's what I used to be like.
That's what it used to be like.
Yeah.
To this day, I pray a lot, just like not like excessively. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and pray like every day. I'm like, God. But for sure, when I get a good deal, or when I sit down and meet new people like you, or sit down and meet anybody and
Right.
somebody I looked up to, or when something big's coming to the table, I definitely pray and thank him. But if I'm being totally honest, I pray more to the Virgin Mary than I do to God.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
they related.
Yeah, they
You know what I
related
mean? Like,
somehow.
He hit that allegedly.
Allegedly. Or not.
Or not.
Or he had just has magic.
Something happened. You feel me?
As a former addict, was God the number one? Like, was God one of the ways that you were like, okay, if I ever stop this, like, I want to make sure that I go to God about it?
Well, were you you were raised Catholic, I assume?
Oh yeah, I was raised Catholic, but I was also raised with an addict as well. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking you, because my dad would go through certain phases or certain things where God was kind of like the only hope.
So it's weird. Like religion is really strange for me.
Talk about it, please.
So, my mother, full-blooded Italian,
Wow.
Catholic.
Panzettoni.
Yeah. So like, hey, gabagool, you got your fingers in the gabagool.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So full blood. So she's
Full blood.
Catholic.
Catholic to the core.
To the
right?
core, okay.
Right. Went to catechism school and all that.
Oh,
you
shit,
feel
okay,
me?
yeah, yeah.
She's with the business.
Yeah.
My dad is kind of interesting. He's mixed. My dad is part Jewish and part Christian.
Wow.
So, and I don't talk about this much, but because, it's Chisme,
Yeah,
I got to
come on.
break it down.
Speak on it, please.
And so my dad, like, his father was a cantor, a cantor is the person that's like a preacher or like a reverend for Jewish people.
For Jewish people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his father, my biological grandfather, or my biological great-grandfather,
Yeah.
who I never met,
Yeah.
apparently was so religious Jewish that he wound up moving to Israel. At the time it was Palestine. Israel wasn't even a country yet.
Okay.
To study the Torah.
Wow.
And was like fully, so, and my dad, he doesn't have a good relationship with his father.
Okay.
His parents split up when he was like 7, 8 years old. And my grandmother remarried. So my dad was never bar mitzvahed. He was never raised Jewish or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's in his DNA.
Like, so actively.
Yeah, actively. But he don't fuck with it as a result.
I see what you're saying.
You know,
Oh, because of the relationship he has with his father.
right. And as a result, that kind of made me resentful against them people too. So I was
Okay.
kind of like, I'm not really fucking with them.
Okay.
As a result, and to the point where apparently when I was a baby, my grandfather, my grandma on my mom's side, my mom's mom, was like, there was like a family function, and my dad's dad happened to be there. I didn't really see him too many times, but he happened to be there this one time.
So he pulled up.
He pulled up.
Rare moment.
Rare appearance.
Okay.
You feel me? He pulled up, and my grandma was like, "Oh, isn't he a beautiful baby? Isn't he so cute?" And my grandpa said some racist shit. He said, he looks like Mussolini, who is like an Italian warlord. You feel me? Like,
wow.
Yeah.
And he said that towards your full-blown Italian family, which was your mom's side.
Right, about me.
Wow, okay.
So, it's I used to have fantasies of spitting on his grave. Like, you feel
what would happen when he said that? What was everybody's reaction?
Everyone was kind of like, yo, you a buster anyway.
Yeah, you kind of...
Yeah, like, we don't even fuck with you. Like, but damn, that's disrespectful as hell.
That's crazy. But your dad's also Italian?
My dad is mixed. Like, he's mixed Italian and Eastern European.
And Eastern European,
yeah,
okay.
Russian.
And his dad, his mom was Italian.
Yeah.
And then his dad was like Russian.
Correct.
And then that's where the Jewish and the... Okay.
Yeah. So, but I've always leaned heavily into...
the Christian side.
The Christianity side of things. I went to, elementary school. I was going to Sunday school you know what I'm saying? Doing all that, going to chapel. But I was never really formally raised full on any religion. It's like I'm technically baptized, but it wasn't really pushed on me like that. So, and being, from West LA where I'm from, there's actually a lot of Jewish people.
Facts.
And some of my homies growing up were Jewish, but they made it quite clear at a young age, like, you're not one of us. You feel me?
You're not one of us and like trying to put you down, or you're not one of us, like, you're just not Jewish, bro.
You're just not Jewish, bro, but I took it as a put down.
I see what you're saying. So people don't know this, but people do know this, but I went to John Burroughs.
Okay,
You know what John Burroughs was?
of course, yeah.
A lot of Jewish people.
Right.
And like, when people like talk about Jewish people, and especially with everything going on right now, I'm like, they were never like that. Like, Jewish people are hella cool. Like, you feel me?
But Burroughs is in the Valle, right? Isn't that in like?
Nah, John Burroughs is on Highland and Wilshire.
Okay, yeah.
So it's
yeah. That's the straight Jewish neighborhood.
Straight Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah. That's and like literally.
It's Jewish, like
right?
Classmates,
and they got the yarmulkes and all that.
Yeah, they got yarmulkes and stuff like that. I knew a lot of Jewish motherfuckers that was wild too.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you smoking dope before me?
That's their hood right there.
That shit is cracking right there.
You know what's crazy? One night, I wound up getting stupid high with the rabbi.
Whoa, you got high with a rabbi?
Stupid high, fool. And this is so I'm 18 years old. This is my senior year of high school.
For what high school did you go to?
I went to 4 different high schools.
What high school did you go to? So people don't like. I know a lot of West LA. One of my best friends go about Robinson and Manning.
Okay.
In Culver City.
Yeah.
And then I know about Hammy. I know about Palms.
I got a lot of homies from Hammy, Palms Middle School, all that. So I went to uni.
You went to uni?
Yeah. Uni.
University High.
Yeah, Uni High.
Okay, talk about it.
Got expelled from uni. Got expelled from Indian Springs. That's uni continuation.
Okay.
Then I was banned from LAUSD, so I couldn't go to any more public schools.
Okay.
Then I went to a private school called Crossroads. Got expelled from there because I got the Fonz's son drunk. You know the Fonz from Happy Days? There's a show back in the day called Happy Days. It was like
I don't know about it yet.
I'm trying to think of what movie he was in. Like the actor that played the Fonz, he was also in like Adam Sandler movies and all kinds of shit, right?
So you got his son drunk.
I got his son drunk. I thought it'd be funny to get his son drunk. He was a freshman. He wound up yakking. When we got him drunk during lunch, he came back and he threw up in art class, snitched us out. I wound up getting expelled.
Wow.
I was already on probation and all that shit. I'd already been to juvie. He's a mark. He's a mark. And I wanted, like, to this day, he's like scared of me, and I'm not even tripping anymore. Yeah. This is 24 years ago, you feel me? But he's still scared of me, like. And
Why
I still
are you snitching for?
Like, oh, is Nick coming? Is Lush is finna be there? And I'm like, yeah, tell that fool I want to see him. And then he's like, oh, and I'm like, bro, I'm not tripping on this fool. Like,
24 years ago, dude.
Right. So I wound up. So the school I graduated from was called Bridges Academy, and it's basically, if your parents care enough about your education that they want you to get a high school diploma, they'll send you to this school. It's like the last resort.
Okay.
You could get a degree from. Most of the kids there We're riding the short bus. Keep sharp objects away from them. They need to be wearing helmets, like the whole nine, right?
They were like in the little Twinkie bus.
Yeah, bro, the small bus. You feel me? Like the 315 bus is on the way. Like, you feel me? So, and I wind up, and I manipulated the hell out of that school when I was there. Like the secretary, I was 18. The secretary's 19, right? She's like a young, kind of chunky, little chunkarunkus. You feel me?
She's a little torts.
Is she a little tortita? You feel me?
Yeah, let's just knocking the tortitas down.
Hey, there's more to love, baby. You feel me?
Yeah.
The bigger the torta, the more that I'll do. You feel
Exactly.
me?
You know what I mean? Talk about it.
And I wound up getting, I like taught her how to give head. You feel me? Like I'm getting head from her.
But you're
every
like
day.
knocking her down during school?
During school, like she would like, we'd go like to lunch or whatever. I'm getting dome, whoop-de-whoop. She wound up, I would have never graduated. God bless her soul, the homegirl Anna, you feel me?
Oh, you're putting her name out there.
You feel me?
God bless the tortas that was sucking Lush's dick in school while she was at work.
She gave me the answers to all the finals.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's how I passed.
And this is at your fourth school, the Bridge.
Yeah.
Bridgewater,
yeah.
okay.
And you know what the funniest part about this school is that, so it's in the Valle. It's on Burbank and Sepulveda. And it was like a tiny little school, right?
Okay.
It used to be a dentist office. And like the whole time I'm there, I'm trapping it out. I'm selling weed, I'm selling pills, all this shit.
To the special kids.
To the special kids.
Yeah, unless you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Hey,
I got stories about
Cali, he was selling drugs to special kids. My God.
It helped them.
Motherfucker, they're special, fool.
It helped them concentrate. They would smoke enough and they would be normal.
Whoa.
You feel me? Like, so yeah, exactly. I'm doing God's work. It all comes back to God. You see, DoKnow? So then I wind up.
This title's gonna be crazy.
So
Lush one talks about selling drugs to special kids.
Hell yeah. I got stories about special kids. I'm basically one of my damn self. I'm special as hell.
You know, I did something fucked up to a special kid once.
What'd you do?
All right, so we're gonna go back to this because everybody always gets mad at me saying I interrupt videos. I don't.
Okay,
But
so after my little stories.
Okay,
then
go
we're
ahead.
gonna-
Okay,
so-
go ahead.
Then because I need to hear this.
So yeah, okay, so you
So I wind up
meeting a rabbi.
You're right, but before that, I just want to say one final thing about this school. Right, this school winds up. They wind up moving locations to like Laurel Canyon or somewhere else like that.
That's
right?
like deeper in the valley, like Sun Valley type vibes.
No. It's like in between the Valle and the city. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Laurel Canyon, that's in between the valley and NoHo.
Basically, well, like NoHo and Hollywood type.
Okay.
shit. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they moved over there, but that's after I left. But the school winds up getting turned into a motherfucking dispensary. So my old school that I graduated from, Bridges Academy, is now a dispensary. And when they made that announcement sometime like back in 2015, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers is late. I was selling weed there 15 years ago. Like, you feel me?
Whoa. And then the school was like it's because when you're making it sound like this, it's like, okay, Lush, you weren't a special kid.
Yeah.
But you were selling drugs to special kids.
Right.
But you were in this special school just because of your behavior.
Right.
And then you were also fucking Anna.
I was also fucking
Anna.
really getting a lot of head. It was a lot of mouth.
Okay, and then the school is just for you to. It was kind of like a super duper continuation school,
Right?
Because you already failed at the continuation school.
Yeah, I'm banned from LAUSD. No public school in Los Angeles.
So
I'm allowed to go
so
to.
there's like a charter school type of thing.
Basically, it's like a charter school.
How many
Yeah.
classrooms?
Bro, it was tiny. Like my graduating class had like 15 kids.
Oh wow, okay.
It's like
yeah, Lush, you're special, fool.
Yeah, for sure. But shouts to Anna, aka Boca Blanco. You feel me? Like,
Do you keep in touch with her to this day?
man, she broke my heart 10 years ago. Back in 2010, she stopped sucking my dick. And it,
Wow.
like, you know when you lose a good head doctor, there's nothing more tragic. And she is the GOAT. She's the GOAT. Like, I've literally, like, knocked tongue rings out. Like, she got a tongue ring because of me. Like, she was supposed to hold it down for a player. And the coldest thing is, she stopped fucking with me because she heard a line in my song about her.
What'd you say?
I said, in a song called Roach Bowl Anthem on my Gold Bricks in the Wall album, I said, I sexed a secretary just to get a diploma. In high school, I used to kick it with the stoners. Like you feel me? But I didn't even mean it in a bad way.
You definitely, man. You were bragging about getting your dick sucked by the secretary. Like,
But
she could have got it. No, well, can she go to jail if you're 18?
I was over 18.
No, but can she go to jail still? Yeah, right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because you go to school there.
I don't think she probably could have got fired or some shit.
Okay, look, let's just make an example. I was 18 my senior year, but like 2 months. My birthday's in March. We graduate in June.
Yeah.
So I was like 18.
Right.
So I'm thinking like if I fucked one of my teachers, would have gone to jail?
Oh yeah, but fucking it. You might be right. It might just be illegal to fuck a teacher. Period.
Yeah, like just anybody that just works at a school and you're still a student. I'm pretty sure you can't fuck.
It's a for show frowned upon thing in the professional space.
Was she ever were you guys ever paranoid? You weren't paranoid. You were getting the top. She was paranoid. Like, Lush, don't snitch on me, Lush. I love you, Lush.
Well, to keep it a full bundle, I was the first in the throat, but she was serving up a lot of homies.
Oh, she was serving up a gang of the special kids?
Anyone that wasn't special, like there was a few of us from the city that just happened to be there. She was topping us all off.
Wow, so she was a dirty...
She was a hoe, bro.
She was a whore.
Like after high school, like she wound up being a train and all that. You feel me?
Wow,
chugga.
I ain't mad at it. Top of the train. Out of the train.
You feel me? Like she was, bro. I love you, Anna.
Shout out you, Anna.
Forgive me.
Forgive Lush.
With that being said, so the rabbi. So I was going to that school at the time, and I had a homegirl who went to Samo High in West LA.
Santa Monica High.
Yeah. And that was like, we've been homies my whole life. She's a good girl. She had never taken shrooms before.
Okay, and at the moment you're the dealer.
I'm a dealer. I've been serving since I was like 13. You feel me? Like
okay.
I was been hustling, and I had already been to juvie at this point. I'd already been to treatment, so like been arrested multiple times. So I'm like already very experienced when it comes to pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, you're a shit case.
I'm a complete shit case.
Okay.
To the umpteenth degree. So I wind up, I'm like, yeah, like let's do shrooms. Now there used to be a rave in K-Town every week, an all ages rave. It was called Funhouse. This is dope ass thing.
In K-Town. And what year was this?
This was the year 2000.
Okay, I was just born then.
Yeah. I know you 22, so you say yeah.
Okay, all ages list?
All ages.
That is dangerous.
It was the fieriest thing ever, right?
Funhouse.
Yeah, it was called Funhouse.
Okay.
It was a little weekly rave. I think it was like on a random, it was like a Thursday night, some shit like that. And it was popping. There was hella bitches there. A lot of Asians, because it's in K-Town, you feel me? But there's like all different people went to this spot. So I bring her there. The homie drops me and her off. We get in line. I'm like, okay, we finna eat the shrooms now. I eat the shrooms. She eats the shrooms. As we're getting closer up the line, it's a long ass line. I'm like, you know what? I think we need to get some water. I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven because it's like, if we don't have water, it's gonna be all bad, right?
But you stay in line.
She stays in line. I go to get I'm walking, there's like a 7-Eleven a block and a half away, right?
What part of K-Town you in? You probably don't remember.
It's off, where was it? I think it's off 3rd. It's somewhere off 3rd.
Okay, so you're probably in between like Vermont
around
and
like 3rd
Western?
and Vermont, like right around there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like right around there. Something like that. You feel me? Like, or in between like 3rd and Wilshire, like some, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. One of those like little hole in the wall spots.
Right. But it was like, it was weird because the rave was big. Once you get in there, like there is multiple rooms. There's like this whole outside area. If anybody's watching this that knows what I'm talking about, you feel me?
Okay, yeah.
Because they even had like a pond outside. It was like this whole.
That's crazy. But I like my older homies because they'll tell me stories about a little hole in the wall spots. I'll be like, motherfucker, that's a fucking church now.
It's like a casita, fool. Like
they be like, fool, we the crack there. I'll be
like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at the hole in the wall.
So I'm in line. She's in line, and I leave her to go to the 7-Eleven. As I'm walking to the 7-Eleven, all of a sudden the shrooms just smack me in the face, and I'm like an experienced tripper, but I wasn't like expecting this to happen or whatever. Like all of a sudden, like you've been off shrooms, right?
Yes, when I was 14 in Culver City. We'll get to that.
That's the only time you ever shroomed?
In Culver City, in your area,
in my
West LA.
Yeah. So my entire world just warps. It was like a 360. Like literally, like I'm seeing my shoes and the ceiling at the same time. It's like, I'm like, oh shit. So I like damn near like fall over, right? And I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to make it to the damn 7-Eleven. I see there's a club right next to where we at. There's a club, and there's a where I'm in like the back of it, and there's a fire escape that goes up to a ceiling, and I see a bunch of people partying. It's all Asians. It's like a whole Asian party. I don't know, it's like Asian night or they're lit, but and I could tell, like, I didn't realize this yet, but they for sure gangster as fuck. You feel me? Like they gangster as fuck. I don't know if they. I'm not gonna say what hood I think they from, but whatever, right?
The Asians was wilding.
The Asians was wilding. I go. So first, I'm like going up the fire escape to go to the rooftop over there. I wind up like, I'm slumped by the shrooms again. So I sit down and I'm just chilling there, right? Then I hear like a noise like, and it's like, but it's muffled, right? Then I hear like, like, and I'm like, oh shit, someone's yelling at me. And then I had a realization as I'm laying there, like, motherfucker, you're in the streets right now. You're in the middle of the city. You think you're in a safe place? You're not. Motherfuckers don't care about you. You feel me? Like,
and especially you're in K-Town in the early 2000s.
K-Town, bro, it's slimy.
Wow,
bro.
it's slimy.
It's slimy. You might as well be downtown. You feel me? Like, except for there's more gangs. There's more gangs in K-Town. You got the MSs over there. You got hella different hoods.
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
deep. It's deep.
You feel me? Like, so I'm like, and then there's like this big security guard, like this black fool's like, hey, like you gotta move. You gotta move. You can't be there. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I just need some water. Like, I'm fucked up. I'm on drugs. And then he's like,
and what did he say?
He's like, man, like, I don't like. You gotta fucking move, right? Like, I'm gonna go, and then like. I forget what he said, but he's like, you gotta move. Then he like disappeared. I don't know what happened to him, right?
Yeah.
So I go to the top of the thing to get to the club, right? There's all these like Asians partying. They're wearing suits, all like night dressed up. And this is like, because I'm having, you know the way shrooms make everything feel so much more intense.
Yeah, like everything just feels like an extra work. And like everything just feels like so much more work than it already
Right.
was.
It's like, it's more serious. It's more like, you know what I mean? So I'm having all these realizations. I get to the roof, and then like there's some people chilling right there. And I see this guy, he's got a beautiful glass of water. It's the most refreshing looking water I've ever seen in my life, right? He's like some Asian, like mobbed out fool, Korean fool in like a suit, right?
They're gonna chop your ass up, Lush.
And I'm like, hey, like I'm on drugs. Like I need some water. Can you please help me? Like, please, please. He looks at me in the eye, smirks. He's like, sorry, man, can't help you.
Did he have a cigarette in his hand?
What?
Did he have a cigarette?
Might
in his
as
hand?
well have, fool. Like,
Yeah.
then he's like, if he did, he would have ashed on me. You feel me? Like,
Okay.
I was like an insect to this dude. Like, then he walks away. But then there's like some bitch standing next to him, some beautiful Asian girl. And then I'm like, please, please. And she's like, here. Gives me the water, because she's basically like, get the fuck away from me. Stop talking to me. Maybe feels a little bad for me. Gives me the water. I drink it. I'm like, ah. And then like, as I'm going down, the security guard, the black fool, comes back. And he's like, hey, man, like, I got you a Sprite. Like, I'm like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? That's where he disappeared to. He disappeared to get me a Sprite. So I drink the Sprite. I'm like, okay, this revived me long enough to get to the motherfucking 7-Eleven. Go to the 7-Eleven, get some huge bottles of water. They're like the biggest bottles of water I ever seen, because I'm on shrooms. It's like so long. It's like a caterpillar, fool. It's
like some straight or like Alice in Wonderland type of water bottle.
Yeah. Like I didn't know they made water this big, and I'm like carrying it. Get back. By that time, my homegirl, who I've abandoned, you feel me, is now shrooming her head off. And she's getting close, and she's like all uncomfortable. She's like, what's going on? Like, I thought you left me. I'm like, no, baby, here you go. Here's some water, right? We straight. Like, then the rave's like, oh, you can't bring water in. I'm like, fuck, you feel me? Like, that's a waste. Drink as much water as we can. Go into the rave. A bunch of crazy shit happens, because as soon as we get into the rave, she runs away from me. So the whole time we're at the rave, I'm trying to find her. Well, that's after I did my little rave dance, you feel me? Like, yeah.
That's so shuffling and shit?
Yeah, I'm going crazy, doing like glow stick dances to the drum and bass shit, you feel me? Then she like disappears, runs away. I'm trying to find this bitch everywhere. Like, she's nowhere to be found. I'm getting really nervous at this point. I'm telling other people, have you seen my homegirl? She's stupid as fuck. She's brunette, 5'2", blah, 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 blah. And like, no one can find her. All of a sudden, I go into I'm like, fuck it. I go in the women's room. I find her. She's huddled in the corner with these two German bitches. I'm like, cool. She's safe. Let's get the fuck out of here. We bounce. Then we go to Hollywood. On La Brea, there used to be a spot called Cafe Nova.
But you,
We got a ride.
You got a ride.
We got a ride. So the homie wound up picking us up, you feel me, taking us to that spot, Cafe Nova, right? It was a dope ass spot. It was like open 24 hours. It had amazing pizza and it looked like a spaceship, like the whole artwork in there.
Okay.
It was like a rocket ship and all that. So we're in there. I'm chilling. There's these fools that I had freestyled with at the rave there. We're big chopping it up about music and shit. And then, like, there's a rabbi there because it's like right near the Jewish hood. And
you're like by where in Hollywood? On La Brea in Hollywood?
Yeah, on La Brea.
Okay.
So we're not far away from like where you went to school and shit.
Yeah, I'm not too far where I went,
We're a little bit more norther, like we're closer to Sunset. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, but it's still like in the vicinity.
Yeah. It's not far at all.
Yeah, like if I remember Burroughs now. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like,
Because I went there after. So I went to Park Revere too.
I would have thought. Oh, you went to Paul Revere?
I went to
all
Park
the way
Revere.
in fucking the Palisades.
My Palisades. I went to Park Revere for like a semester. Got kicked out for fighting.
You for sure know some of my little homies.
And then I went to Park Revere. Got kicked out of Park Revere. Went to John Burroughs as my OT opportunity transfer. And then I got kicked out. And then I ended up back in the West because I went back to my home school.
I would have figured you went to Belmont or some shit.
I did go to Belmont too.
Okay,
I went to Belmont. I went to Miguel Contreras. I also went to Palisades.
Okay.
Bro, that's why I'm so like when I meet a lot of people, I know about a lot of the areas because I went to school so many. Like people don't know. For like kinder and preschool, I went to by 3rd and Lucas.
Okay.
Right there in Westlake. I went to Gratz.
Yeah.
And my sister got accepted to Brentwood Science at Magna Elementary.
Oh, wow.
Because my mom's a housekeeper in Brentwood in the gated community.
Okay. That's like the richest part of LA.
I didn't know English. I went to Brentwood. I went to Brentwood from 1st grade to 5th grade. Went to Revere, got kicked out.
What was it like being with all those spoiled ass rich kids?
You do kind of feel a little like you don't feel poor, but you like certain shit sucks. Like my mom didn't have the pleasure of being able to pick me up. If I did, I would have to wait till like 6, 7 p.m. and then we would ride the blue bus to 3rd or Wilshire and then catch the 720 all the way back to the West where I guess you could say reality hits a little bit.
Right.
But to me, it was like I didn't really get to spend time with kids from school because we were on a school bus. So I was back at the block by 4:30 and I was running around playing BB gun wars and there were shootouts mid a football game.
Right.
So a lot of kids went home to a big house.
Yeah.
I went home back to the block, even though I was a little far away.
Yeah.
School, like it just didn't make it. There wasn't really much of a difference, and I was still more fucked up kid than everybody else because how I was being raised in the block, and my mom's working 24/7. My dad's a drug addict, and I'm being raised by the homies and my 3 older sisters. But I was just a little, I was like less privileged.
Of course.
But there was a lot of kids like me.
Okay.
Like one of my really good homegirls, she was black. She was coming from like the low bottoms.
Right.
Like there was kids coming from West LA as well.
Right.
That grew up in the Culver City projects.
Right.
There was kids that were coming from the ghetto side of Venice.
Right.
From the fucking valley. Like we all came from fucked up places, but most kids that went there, their parents just had a little more privilege.
Yeah.
But also a lot of kids that went there, their parents were like second generation. So the littlest thing I never realized it, but like the littlest things was like having a car and a license. My mom's an immigrant here at the age of I'm 10, so my mom was only 35. She had me at 25. Like my mom didn't know, and my mom was scared to have a license, scared to have an ID. It was the bus everywhere.
No papeles,
no papers, all that. So yeah, but it was dope because I also learned a lot about different cultures. That's why I'm so like I know a lot about.
You could talk to anybody.
I could talk to anybody and know about their culture because one of my good friends, his name was Ryoma, and he was and he was Asian.
Right.
You know, like one of my other best friends, the first girl I ever thought I loved was her name was Layla, like Davidoshka, and she was like Russian.
Right.
Like, you feel me? And I was like pretty spread out with the culture and stuff like that. But I was already getting arrested like in the 6th grade, and then
yeah, I mean, I was 12 when I got arrested. I was
then,
13. I got arrested.
And then
the
7th grade, like the juvenile hall thing started. 8th grade kind of type of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it was wild. But okay, continue.
That's why you and me are like, and you know what? Like we're super similar in that regard.
Yeah.
Because, and I think a lot of it too is like tagging brought me all
the
across
graffiti.
the city.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
You feel me?
So like even like when I started tagging as well, and we'll go back to your story, but when I started tagging, I knew a lot about different cities.
Right.
Like one of my first best friends ever, outside of the homies from the block, like the homie Julio and all them, if it was the homie Mohammed, to this day, he's still my best friend, one of my good friends, and he's Egyptian. That's how I learned about the Muslim culture. And he was an Egyptian Muslim. That's the first time I learned about hijab and eating, and I didn't know that Egyptians eat hella spicy food, and just certain things like that. Like I was kind of my other best friend Nevik RIP. He's fucking Filipino Salvadorian.
Right.
So I was kind of like I'm pretty kind of like spread out in the area. You feel me? So I know how to get everywhere in the city in a bus.
Yeah, same.
Like
I'm a blue line, green line baby.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
and then I lived in downtown in on Douglas. I lived on Douglas.
Right.
The homie Mohammed, which he's now a DJ like at the white parties. Like, you know what Circle Bar is at?
Yeah.
Like in Santa Monica.
Yeah,
he's like a DJ there and
Yeah.
shit. So the homie Mohammed, I lived in downtown LA. The homie Mohammed lived in Culver City off Manning and Robinson. And the homie Nevik lived on 54th and Normandy. So like the three best friends all over the city.
South Central,
Culver City, West LA, and then back to Echo Park. So it was wild.
Yeah, no, and you know why I got confused when you said Burroughs? Because there is a school called Burroughs in Burbank, too.
But that's like a private high school.
Yeah, it's another high school up there. Yeah, because I knew some bitches from there.
Yeah. So you were on La Brea and Sunset.
So I'm chilling, and like the rabbi winds up being a part of our conversation. We're chilling with him, and then by the end of the night, like it's like 4 a.m. We've been drinking all night, and it's like time to go home. It's later than that. It's the sun's coming up, so it's probably like 5:30, 6 a.m., whatever, right? And he's like, "Can I get a ride home?" And we're like, "For sure." So the homie takes him, and he's about to drop him off somewhere in Melrose, and then I'm like, we start talking about weed. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "You smoke?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You want to blaze it?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we fire up right outside this fool's crib, and he fucking smoked weed with a motherfucking rabbi. And apparently, I didn't know this, but a lot of rabbis smoke weed, and just a lot of, because there's a big connection between Judaism and Rastafarianism. And Haile Selassie, the king of Ethiopia, who's like the figurehead of the Rastafarian faith, is very connected to. He's an Israelite, so he's connected to Judaism and all that. So they be on that's why the Jewish people, a lot of them love reggae, and they be like stony ass people.
And they're very like hipster vibes.
That's
right?
what I'm saying, like hippied out, like
I went to school with a kid at Burroughs. I was only at Burroughs for like a semester.
Yeah.
And then I ended up back in South Castro, and then I went to Belmont.
So we both are like
everywhere.
All over the place.
Yeah, I was all over the place. I went from the Palisades to West LA to Westlake Echo Park, and then back to Palisades, and then back to.
People don't realize, like, just because like Paul Revere and Pali are in a nice neighborhood, those schools are fucking active.
Well, people don't understand that magnet programs are meant for kids from the inner city.
All over the city.
That's how the funding comes, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, these fucked up kids from areas like my area, the downtown LA, ugly Skid Row area, the South Central, the
Rampart District.
The Rampart, my Rampart District is fucked up. If you know the story about Rampart District, that's where I was raised. And they get a lot of funding because, look, we brought all these inner city kids, these colored kids.
Right.
You feel me? And they're doing all this, and they're doing good.
And it's in liberal neighborhoods, so they feel good about it. Like, we're giving back to the community and all that.
Exactly.
So I wound up, when I was in high school, I want to hear your shroom story, but it's just funny you talk about Pali, because I wound up having a lot of funk with kids in Pali. There's a specific crew, and they're still active to this day. And
for real?
Yeah. A lot of kids that went to that school, and I got homies from that clique now, so it ain't no thing. But at the time, I had beef with them over some tagging shit, and I wound up over a girl too. One of the main dudes from that squad, he was supposed to take this bitch to prom, and when it was that night, she was kicking it with me instead of at prom with him. Saying he was a tough kid, you feel me? He wanted to beat my ass, and there's all this back and forth. One day, me and the homie stole a car, right? We was in a Stolo, and we mobbed to Pali High. We went to Pali High, hopped out, and I tagged up the whole school.
Wow.
Like, hit up on all the lockers, you feel me? Like, fuck whoop-de-whoop, like, fuck whatever the crew's called. I'm not going to say it, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, and then I said the diss for them, and then I'm like, and fuck Pali High, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So they found out, obviously, they knew who it was. They knew where I went to school. These fools showed up 40 deep at my high school the next day. Like, I was cool with the security guards. And the security guards are telling me, like, hey, like 4 carloads of kids or like 6 carloads of kids came looking for you. Like, all these essays, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, damn.
You know what's crazy? Like, because I went to different, like, schools and areas and shit like that. and there's wild kids everywhere. Like I remember when I went to Pali, I went to Belmont.
Yeah.
So I went to Parvier, got kicked out.
Yeah.
Went to John Burroughs, got kicked out. Went to South Castro, which is a middle school inside Belmont.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to Belmont, and then you feel me. Then my nickname DoKnow, I've actually had it since like the 7th grade.
Yeah, I've been Lush since like 10th grade.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've been DoKnow since like 7th grade.
I used to write Jinx before that.
Yeah.
But you don't look, a real name, a real hood name, you don't give it yourself.
Nah.
Somebody gives it to you.
Yeah, my sister kind of gave me my name. We're like, I was starting to get into the tagging shit, and she's like, you need a nickname, like a better one.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of putting letters together. My name's Danny.
Okay.
Danny.
Yeah,
So she was like something with a D, and then it just came together. But yeah, I remember like I was at Belmont, and then I was getting kicked out of Belmont. I was there for like first semester of 9th grade. It starts September and ends in December.
Yeah.
For the first 2 months, I didn't go to school not one time, not a
Yeah.
class one time. I was just getting drunk with the homie Evil, with the homie Ma, with the homie Sykes. A couple of other different homies. Everybody's from different hoods. Everybody's doing their own thing.
Right.
Some are in prison, some are resting in peace. But we're all doing our thing, and we all got kicked out. And some of the homies ended up going to Hollywood High. But right when I was getting kicked out, if people know, the magnet program is like a lottery.
Yeah,
So
it is.
you only get accepted if you get accepted. My sister happened to go to Pali. She stood there, one of my sisters. And I ended up getting accepted, but I only went there for 2 days, dog.
2 days?
I didn't last. The first day I got into it, they like pulled me to the side and were like, oh, why are you responding back? What gang are you from? We know your background. And they're like, who's your sister? And I told them my sister's name. They're like, oh, that's where your attitude comes from. They were kind of
damn.
like, why? Like
Yeah.
kind of putting, I was like, man,
That's
fuck
kinda
you.
scandalous.
And I told them, and then I went there for a week, technically. I went there Monday, half of Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday I didn't go. No, Wednesday and Thursday, my mom, I woke up 4 a.m. from Echo Park, caught the bus, everything, just to go all the way to Palisades and come right back.
Damn.
And come meet, and then meet up with the homies at Staples Centers.
Hey, you were psyched though. You're like, fuck it, I'm juiced. Like, I'm gone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I'm out this
bitch.
motherfucker. I was just,
Yeah.
because Pali, you could just walk out.
Yeah, hell
It's
yeah.
not like the schools in the hood where
No,
you got to
no.
climb fence, go through this.
Right.
Pali, you just walk out.
Yeah.
And then we did that, and
And that's how it's easy for me to get there and hit up the whole school.
yeah, because you could
feel
just walk
me? Like,
in.
yeah.
So we did that, and then I only went there, and then
Bad bitches though, right?
bad white bitches, and then on Friday I left.
Persian bitches, all that.
I literally only went there, if we put hours together, I was only there for about 14 hours in a week, and I was like, I can't do this shit, because I got so accustomed to being back at the block. I was accustomed to being at the block,
Yeah.
but it was just a little different, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was just like, oh yeah, I need to go back, and
And it's all because kids were pressing you, basically, off rip.
where
At Pali, you
no,
said.
no, the teachers.
Oh, the teachers.
Like
was
the
pressing.
staff members, because at Belmont I could kick it in the bench all day, and they go like, go to class, and then we'll just walk back around and go drink at the locker rooms downstairs.
Right.
In Palisades, it was like not that.
More scrutiny.
But
so.
I was just always a fucked up kid from where I come from. You know what I mean? Like, you know where I grew up.
Of course.
Where I
got
grew-
a lot of homies in your section. you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
me?
Like where I grew up.
We know
is-
a lot of the same people.
Yeah, which is crazy because when I met Lush, I had just met you. I know
Yeah.
Jumper.
Within a few
Yeah,
weeks
we
before that.
linked. You were like, come to a battle with Disaster.
Yeah.
And one of the hood I grew up with, one of the homies was there.
Yup.
And then he's like, Lush is like, you grew up there, and he told you like, yeah, he looked like I'm not from the hood at all.
Yeah,
but
he
like,
said like he was, and he kept telling me that he was like even before he's like, yeah, that fool DoKnow, he's from my hood. And I was
Yeah,
like,
like, yeah,
I was
like-
like, no, he's not. Like he a
yeah,
writer.
like,
he's a
yeah,
writer. You
but
feel
I think,
me? But
I think he was saying in a sense to where like I grew up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like I grew up there.
no, he gonna claim you either way, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, but a lot
Shouts
of
to
my,
homie Lil Minor. You feel me? Like,
But a lot of the homies, I grew up there. A lot of good older homies. A lot of my best friends, their older brothers, family members are from. They're very respectful where I grew up.
That hood showed me a lot of love.
That's fire.
A lot of love. I posted up on Douglas Street a lot.
Yeah.
Those are my peoples.
Yeah, man. I had to be honest with saying, man, I had a really fun childhood, bro. Like
That's
the
a
homies,
fucking
and-
dope neighborhood. Fool.
yeah, and
Like,
then we're like in an area. I mean, it was crazy as I was growing up, but like it was just always fun. Like the older homies were always like, man, do your thing.
Yeah.
Like they never, you know how a lot of people go through the things of like they pressure you to gangbang and you get jumped in even without being jumped in.
Yeah.
Since we were raised there and they had a lot of love for us and honestly, generally wanted us to do better.
Right.
Like obviously I did my own shit outside. Like I was a tagger, all this shit. I got shot. Like whatever it was, it never had to do anything with them, but with my choices and like the shit I just did. But I had a lot of fun there, man.
And they love you. That hood love you like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Shout out them.
And I feel like that's one. Me and DoKnow have a lot more in common
than a lot of the people on No Jumper.
Right, like you and me see, even though we a lot different in age.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of the oldest, you like the youngest.
Yeah.
But we still see eye to eye way more. And it's a lot of it has to do with West LA shit, tagging shit.
Yeah, graffiti shit. Because I remember like just recently, me and Lush were in the group chat and we're like going back and forth about Psych Around.
Right.
And I sent you some shit. You're like, DoKnow, this shit hard. When I was walking through the city, this shit I'm dropping with Pro Club, which is coming soon.
Oh, yeah,
and then you were like, what the fuck, DoKnow? I done smoked up around some of those streets.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, that's fire. And then we talked back, and then we even kind of like, DoKnow, fuck, what crew you from? And he's
right.
I was like, Lush, what crew you from? And then we went back and forth about it. And I was like a dope vibe. Everybody in the group chat was like, what the fuck? Like, they're having like a little moment right now.
Yeah.
But that was a vibe, yeah.
They don't understand that West LA shit. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like the other people that really like are the closest to getting it would be Almighty Suspect, you feel me, a little bit, and
like T-Rail and AD. Yeah. Everybody else is kind of like in their own little world and shit like that. But yeah, it's all vibes. But like graffiti, how'd you get into graffiti?
Just it was all around me. Like LA was graffiti city at that time.
Facts.
If you was in the 90s and you didn't have some type of hand style, you was a mark. Like everybody, like you had to, you know, and then I didn't even realize at first how it was connected to hip hop. It was just hip hop was just the language, like the soundtrack to everything was rap music. And I just remember like being a little ass kid. I remember being 5 and 6 years old and seeing the gang tags in my neighborhood, and all that shit. And I was always fascinated by it. And then I liked the rebellious, destructive element of it. Mm-hmm. And then like here's the thing about LA, growing up, especially back then, is we're in such a big city.
Huge.
And there's so many people at like you went to Belmont. That's like what, like 4,000 or 5,000 kids at that. That's like huge.
Yeah.
School.
Well, it's spread out now because they added 2 other high schools just a block away from each other. But yes,
it's a big ass
school.
So in order to have a name and a reputation, you can't really do it by yourself. You have to have like a squad.
You were either like a squad or you were like the Mr. Fuck Bitches. Or
even if you're Mr. Fuck Bitches, you have to be with a bunch of other Mr. Fuck Bitches. Then you're like
somehow always affiliated either to a crew or your parents are from somewhere and stuff like that.
If you're not, you're like a nobody.
Yeah.
You're a nobody.
Yeah. Okay.
And you feel super small. So that was kind of my way of making sure that I was recognized, and I was. It comes from ego, you know. It's like it's a very ego-driven thing. Like I want to make my mark. I exist because you're coming from a place where you're like your voice. You feel like you're like, you know, when you're screaming, it sounds like a whisper because there's all these voices around you. Yeah. So how do you stand out? How do you have an identity? Shit, tagging. You feel me? Like rapping. That's how I would like expressing myself. That's how I found a way to stand out.
That's crazy. Yeah, me too. As a kid, I think graffiti was like the #1 thing. Like, we're gonna go mob this fucking shitty up. And we weren't those regular tagger kids. Me and the homies from my crew we were like, oh, we're just gonna paint around the city. Like, nah, if we're gonna get up. I had older homies from bigger crews, very legendary crews.
Same.
And they were like, bro, you fools are gonna write.
Yeah.
So we would walk it from. I remember we used to walk from Echo Park all the way to Manchester and Fig.
That's what I'm saying.
We used to just be painting and get lost and get shot at by fucking
different gangs,
by different black, Mexican. It didn't matter. Like we were just, motherfucker, you taking in my hood?
And that's why graffiti crews, taggers became tag bangers.
Yeah.
And it became we like graduated from being just writers to being from a hood because
I knew a lot of honestly, it didn't. I think everybody knows this. A lot of my fans are from LA, and obviously it's a little spread out, and fucking a lot of cities are similar to us, like San Diego and stuff like that. But
The IE, all that
bro,
shit.
it don't matter. Motherfucker, you're a skater. You've cracked somebody with your skateboard before.
What?
I know a couple skaters. I'm like, motherfucker, you better leave that skater alone. And whop him. I'll be like, I told you, motherfucker, leave him alone.
Yeah, and see,
the skaters alone were like a team.
Of course, and like a lot of us were skaters too. Like skaters in the crew and all that. And it's funny because like we were never like we have homies that could really piece up and like we're dope with the
like muralists.
Right. But really, what we was known for is just wall banging. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm toy as fuck when it comes to piecing and all that. But I had balls. You feel me?
Your street guys was up.
Yeah, I was up. My strikes was everywhere. My slaps was everywhere. Like we was doing the damn thing. And I remember the speech that my big homie gave us. I'm like 12 years old, and he's like, "This right here means everything to me." And like he's like, I swear to God, he would have won the fucking Super Bowl with this speech. You know what I'm saying? He's like I believe in this.
That shit was better than I Have a Dream.
Yeah, it was like the I Have a Dream speech. Literally, he's like, this is how much I believe in it. I'm not on any teams. I'm not. This is my everything, and I love each and every one of y'all, and I'm willing to go to jail right now for this shit. Are you in or out? And we're like, I'm sold. That's all I needed to do. You feel me? Like, we catching spots on the freeway that same night.
Yeah, on the 10?
On the 10.
You motherfucker.
405 and the 10.
Lush was wild.
We was up. You feel me?
Man,
Fools bombing the heavens and all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
the heaven spots. Obviously now I can't really, like I'm still young. Like I'm pretty sure at 22 you were probably still painting.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, like right now at the age, like, but obviously I have a lot going on, so I can't.
I'll still catch a little spot every once in a while.
Oh,
like,
you should have seen me last night. I want to go catch a little. I don't know, maybe you can see a little pain in my finger.
Right.
If I still get the little itch.
I don't see nothing, fool.
Yeah, I still get the itch. Shout out my boys owner and them. They be killing the city, you know what I mean? But I definitely every once in a while still go catch a little bomb in a little spot, or for sure catch a tag, or just go keep looking and support the homies.
Keep it true to
and doing great art for the city.
It ain't on you, it in you.
Exactly.
And this is like, so back in the 90s, this is during the West Side graffiti scandal when GK and all those dudes got caught up. You feel me? Like all the dudes from MSK and AWR got caught up.
For what?
For causing millions, for vandalism, for causing millions of dollars.
Did they get it before
damage.
Chaka?
Yeah. GK was the first one before Chaka. Like.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But just Chaka was just a little more famous.
Yeah, he got more famous
because
GK is the first to do time with that shit. Like
they did prison time, right?
Yeah, and like I knew those were fools I looked up to growing up, like Chunk and GK and Saber and Eclipse and all these.
Fire,
you know
okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like these are fools I used to look up, and then obviously my big homie Rezik from MTA. Like these are like the dudes that raised me from the time I was a little ass kid.
Yeah,
and I remember at a certain point we literally we went from being just, and we always had a block because a lot of crews, they didn't have like a hood. We always had like a hood. We had a block.
It's kind of like where you kick it at.
Where we kicked it at. And then that became like our neighborhood. And we never officially became a barrio, but like that's a different story. We don't need to get into all that. Yeah. But like, you know, we a hood. Yeah. We not a crew. We a hood. Yeah. So it's like it's a weird thing.
It's like
I know you get it, but you have to be from West Los to even understand that kind of shit. Because when you hear that, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's off brand." Like y'all are just some tagger fools. Like, okay, you could say that technically, like West LA resident, technically, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, when we out on the streets. His Westside 5150 crooks, K2 Dub. You feel me? Like
graffiti vibes.
5700 block Clemson. You know, like we have our section. To the 3400 to McManus Park. You feel me? To all the back streets. That's us. Like
facts.
That's us. We've had real gangs try to press us. And look, I'm a 40-year-old man, so I'm not actively pressing no lines. So don't get it twisted. Yeah. But my little homies are still out there doing the damn thing.
Yeah, wildin'.
So allegedly. Now, I want to hear this shroom story. Speaking of Culver City.
Oh, in Culver City. Okay, so I was in Culver City, bro. It's me, my Egyptian best friend, Mohammed, and me and the homie Nevik, R.I.P., which he actually passed of an overdose last year. So R.I.P. my guy. Because I'm not promoting no drugs. I'm there like if you.
That's not promoting. That's a cautionary tale.
Yeah, like you feel me? Like I'm just saying.
But you can't overdose on shrooms.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
No.
Okay, so I'm like a little bitch when it comes to drugs. Cause I just be honest, like I'm down to fight, do wild shit. But when it comes to drugs, I'm an overthinker, and maybe because I was raised by a drug addict, I've seen somebody go through be at their lowest and be at their highest when it comes to the fucking drugs. And by highest, I don't mean like they were getting money.
Right.
I mean like they were high like a motherfucker.
Right.
And at their lowest, I mean like rock bottom, panicking for 7 hours, praying to God that they don't stay high forever. You know what I mean? I've seen my father go through depression. I've seen him argue with us, steal our TV, steal his daughter's 15 memorabilia that my mom gave to her. I've seen him do the up down, and that's your lowest.
From McKinsey and shit?
That's the lowest. That's probably where it gets, you know what I mean? And
it's all bad.
Super all bad. And I remember so I was just always scared about drugs. It was just never, it to this day, it's not my thing.
Right.
A lot of my homies, when we, they do the party drugs, a little cocaine, a little bit sometimes, you know what I mean? I don't judge nobody. I just personally don't do it. Have I thought about it? Like, damn, I want to see what makes these fools want this shit every time we drink.
So you never been off the powder?
I've never been off the powder. Hardest drug I've done was shrooms, and this one time. So, and maybe opioids when I was in the hospital, but that don't count, right?
No.
Okay, but I'll shit had me high, though.
Oh,
I got a little addicted of the motherfucker.
They call that a free lapse.
So, the homie Nevik, R.I.P., he was like, the homie Kevin, he was like, fool. He's like, let's get some shrooms, all of us. Let's get some fucking shrooms. And I'm like, fool. I've never done shrooms. None of us have done shrooms, except Nevik, I think, before. And he like, let's do some shrooms. Let's do some shrooms.
Did you get him in Venice?
No, he got him from his plug.
Okay.
I'm not too sure where, but fuck it, they were good.
Yeah.
I had a good time. So we're at the homie Muhammad's house off Robinson and Manning.
Okay.
In Culver City at his apartment, and we're chilling. And then he was like, "Yeah, fool, let's just eat him." And we're like, "How do we eat him?" They taste like shit. They're like, with some orange juice. That's like the thing, right?
Well, what's crazy about that?
It like boosted your shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has an age for 3 people that have never done shrooms. We're all 14. Like doing shrooms at 14 is it's a pretty young age.
That's young.
Yeah, so we're like, fuck it. So an 8, so we split. Like I get like 2 of them. They get a little 2 ones. They get 2 ones. We all have 2. We eat.
You're like doing a gram each.
Kind of type of thing. So I don't know exactly how the shroom gram and how that works.
Well, an eighth is 3.5 grams.
Oh, well, no. What I'm saying about, like, I don't know, like, how many stems.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I know an eighth is 3.5. Right. So I'm like, fuck it. Whatever, I ate that shit. It tastes like shit. I'm like, the homie that gave me water. It tastes like shit. Water it down. We're like, but chew it. Everybody's like, chew it. We're gonna chew it. Fucking chew it. And we're like, if you're a bitch if you don't chew. So I'm like, whatever. We chew the shit. And people don't know. The train wasn't back there. Back then, the train wasn't there?
No.
Okay.
No.
From Manning.
Wait, what year is this?
2014.
That's right around the time.
The train just opened.
Right around the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
maybe it was like the next year because it went right behind the bike path on the Helms.
Yes.
Yeah,
so it's the Expo line.
Yeah, the Expo.
Yeah. So now
I think the Expo was by then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
right
Expo.
around that time.
Yeah. So it's the Expo line. It goes all the way to Santa Monica now. So if people don't know the distance between Robinson and Manny, where the Vons is at, it's a little long walk from Robinson and Manny to
the Expo.
To the Expo line. I don't know what next to the Del Taco. What street is that?
Oh, that's Robertson.
Robinson and
that's
what?
Robertson and Washington.
Okay, yeah. So I'm walking from Robinson and Manning to
Robertson and Washington,
which is a little walk.
Yeah, it's a hike.
Yeah, it's a little hike, and
it's over a mile.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's long because it's. But
that's my stomach right. That's our Del Taco right there.
Yeah.
That's our donut shop right there.
Okay.
That's us right there.
Oh, fine.
You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
The Albertsons across the street.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm walking this, and if you don't know this, it's a pretty long walk.
Yeah.
So we're chilling. They're like, all right, let's watch the Family Guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fine, I can't be in this fucking house if I'm streamed out. I'm gonna leave. They're like, don't leave. I'm like, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
They're like, don't leave. I'm like, I'm gonna leave. The stream's still not hitting yet. So I walk.
Why'd you want to leave?
Because I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna just take off. But also,
You're fucking tripping,
But
fool.
let me tell you. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave. They're like, nah, fool, you can't leave. You're gonna trip out.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, I'm good. So I take a little water bottle with me. I have my backpack. I have like a streak, a spray can, a fucking scribe, and I'm just walking, right? Dun. I'm walking down the little street, not the main street on the right side, the little street where the Vons is at, where there's like a bunch of little alleys around there. And it's where the train passes.
Right.
It's where they're building the new train thing.
I know exactly.
So it's like a big ass wall. It looks like once you get off the freeway, those little streets where it's empty.
Our hood is Clemson and La Cienega, which is La Cienega right below Jefferson. That's like our block. It's
Okay.
So we're like you're right near there, fool.
Okay, so I'm walking
in our hood. Like,
so I'm like walking, right? I'm whatever. I'm tripping. Dog, the stop sign, it turns blue and red. My whole surrounding turns like if I have 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? If I have 3D glasses on?
Yeah.
And I'm just walking, and it feels like I'm walking down this little street. I wish I could tell you. I'm going to look it up.
Yes, sir. What the fuck going on if you're watching this video right now? You're maybe mid one of my fucking interviews. But I want to thank you guys, and I also want to thank Swiss Studios. Swiss. Anyways, shout out Swiss Studios. They've been keeping me fly. They've been keeping all my guests fly. You've been staying fly. I've been staying fly. Let's fucking stay fly together. And if you ain't staying fly with us, make sure you go tap in with Swiss Studios. You feel me? I'm going to leave the IG right here. Bow. And make sure you guys go follow them. That was throwing Linwood, Cerritos, one in Glendo's coming, Las Vegas, and they got plenty of more. You could go to their website, link in the description, or you could just go follow them on IG and order online, you feel me? But shout out Switch Studios, one of my favorite fucking t-shirts, you know me. And one of my favorite brands, you get shoes, shorts, pants, shirts, hoodies, all that. So go tap in with Swiss Studios. Go show them love. Tell them your boy DoKnow sent you. Bow. Back to the interview. Bow.
Okay, so I'm basically damn near this motherfucker, right? So, whatever. I'm like, fuck it, fool. You just got to keep walking. I'm walking. And dog, the stop sign keeps getting further.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fool, just relax. But I'm having a good time, but I'm tripping at the same time. So there's a balance in this.
Yeah.
I put my earphones on. At the moment, I'm bumping hella Mac Miller, Schoolboy Q.
Okay.
That's my vibes right now.
Yeah.
2014, Mac Miller, you feel me? Frozen Kool-Aid and Frozen Peaks.
Yeah.
So I'm vibing. I'm walking. I finally get to the train station. There's a gentleman's club there.
Yep.
You know where I'm talking
Skin.
about? I think
I think it's called Skin.
And I think it's male strippers or
no, it's
for okay.
Yeah.
So I passed that. It's still like daytime kind of, but it's about to hit like 4 or 5. So it's kind of getting to the afternoon on a Friday.
Right.
I'm walking. I walk upstairs to the train station. But right before that, I catch a little scribe because they barely built it. You're right. It just opened.
Right.
So I'm catching a little scribe right there. I walk up there to the train station, and I'm in the train. You know, sometimes the train waits.
Yeah.
So it just stays at the station because the Culver City is the last stop at this point.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there waiting, fool.
Because they hadn't even opened the
rest of it.
The Pico Sawtelle and then the Centinela.
They haven't opened all of that, yeah. So I'm sitting there and it just...
It's swaying back and forth.
Dog! And I'm like... I'm just tripping, fool. Like, I'm just like... And dog, I'm having like it's a good trip, but for everything's red and blue, like if I have 3D glasses on, I'm bumping some Mac Miller. So that kind of calmed me down. Thank God I didn't forget my earphones.
You're by yourself, though.
I'm by myself. At the age of 14, off shrooms.
Yeah.
My homegirl Rosemary and the homie Buddha are like, hey, meet us up at the Pico stop, Pico and Flower in downtown LA.
Yeah.
We're gonna drink at the convention center. We got an MD and some weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm leaving Culver City, so I gotta stop by Crenshaw, the Dorsey
stop. So you'll
stop.
be there like in a half hour.
No, I'll be there less, 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, because you go Crenshaw.
Yeah.
After that, it's Jefferson, La Cienega.
Yeah.
Crenshaw, Dorsey, Crenshaw, and then you go Western, Vermont, the Rose Garden,
and then
USC, and then you're there.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we're gonna wait for you. But we don't have Wi-Fi, so we're just gonna be sitting at the back. So a lot of homies didn't have Wi-Fi. We had iPods, so we'll pass by anywhere that had Wi-Fi. Send a message, be like, meet here, don't lag it.
Right.
So they were like, all right, fool, we're at the McDonald's nearby. We're gonna walk here. We're just gonna wait for you at the flower station. If you get there before, just wait there. We'll meet you there. And I'm telling them like, hey, I'm off shrooms. I'm tripping, fool. Bring me a water. And we get there.
So I'm talking about the water, right?
Yes. So I'm like, bring me a water. I have one, but I still asked for another one. I don't remember the train ride. I just remember getting off right before.
You just teleported.
Yeah, I just remember getting off right before 7th and Fig, which is the last stop where all the trains meet.
Right.
And I get there, And bro, I'm happy, dog. One of the happiest times I've ever had. We get there, we're clowning, we're walking by. There used to be a Hooters in front of the convention center. It's no longer there. We go, convention center. If you're downtown LA kid, you kick it along the convention center by the stairs and stuff like that. And we go kick it at the convention centers, and we just
this fool's a beast. I fucks with, bro. What's happening with you, dog?
Yes, sir. And we just go get fucking drunk, and we drink MDs and smoke off the pipe. We're smoking weed. But
smoking off the pipa, fool.
Smoking off the pipa.
Smoking crystal. Don't lie to me, dog.
I wasn't smoking crystal, but I was smoking like good ass fucking weed.
Right.
You feel me? We all mastered like $10, so we got a little 8.
Yeah.
We still didn't know
The
how
good
to
old
roll
days.
blunts. Yeah, we didn't know how to roll blunts, so we're just packing hella fat bowls, like, hold it in, full baseball.
Right.
And everybody just with MDs, and it was one of the best trips I ever had. I never did it after that, but the one shroom trip I had a really great time.
That shit could have gone left, my boy.
It could have gone left in Culver City. I would have probably ran into some of your homies.
Yeah, for sure. You were right there.
I would have acted up. They would have whooped my ass.
You were right there,
and it's crazy because, it was always dope. Like, especially if you guys know, if you're on the trains in LA, you're always gonna meet different people. And we were always younger, so we kind of felt like we had to prove ourselves, like, and shit like that.
So you're gonna be activated.
Yeah. But it was a good time. I had a really good dope trip.
Dude, I swear to God, I thought I met a motherfucking like an AI robot android one time, fool.
Off the shrooms?
No, I wasn't off the shrooms, but I was look, fool, and this is crazy. I was up in Northern Cali. I was in the Bay Area. They have this thing called the BART. That's their expo line. Like, they have a train station.
Okay, it's called
the BART. That's like their subway, right?
Okay.
And I'm at the BART station, and there's this random people are gonna think I'm even crazier than I am, right? There's this dude, and he was wearing a suit, right? Just like a regular white dude in a suit.
Like, he probably works somewhere downtown San Francisco.
Some shit like that. I don't know. And like he says what's up to me, like nods to me in the train station. I'm like, what's up? And then we're about to get on the train in 2 different trains. Like, I'm in the one in front, he's in the one right in back. But then something at the last minute, I don't know what it was. It was like I'm being pulled by some force that I can't explain, told me to get on the same train as him. So I get on the same train.
But you're sober.
I mean, for sure on drugs because I'm a drug addict at this time. But I'm probably just on like some Xanax or Adderall, or nothing notable. You know what I mean? Nothing that I need to make note of and like really talk about as far as drugs. Like, but I'm fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always fucked up.
Yeah, you're always just fucking full of shit.
I'm always fucked up, right? So I sit down, and like he's sitting like as close to me as you are right now, and we just start talking. And I have this weird feeling when we're talking that he's just like analyzing data and information. He's like a computer, like taking in all this info from me, right? It was so random. And then I remember looking at him as my stop's coming up and as I'm about to get off, you know, like when you look at someone like at their peripheral vision, like I could see at the corner of his eye, that shit looked like the fucking Matrix, fool. It was like, it was all green barcodes and shit. I was like, what the fuck? But I didn't even realize that it was crazy or trippy while it was happening because I'm just like sucked into this conversation, wind up getting off. And as I get out and walk outside, I'm in Oakland now, I'm like, what on God's green earth just fucking happened, bro? Like,
Lush, you have a lot of fucking crazy ass stories.
That shit was gnarly, fool. I swear it was like an artificial intelligence. It was like an alien, like trying to acclimate so he knew how to interact with human beings, bringing data back up to the mothership. I don't know what the fuck it was, or I don't know if I'm just a fucking knock and I was tripping. But to this day, that situation bugs me out.
The trains will fuck you up. But right before we keep going, shout out Swiss Studios, Les. I got you a shirt from them. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Yes, sir. It might be a little small, but you'll make it fit.
Come on.
Yeah, shout out Swiss Studios.
Good looks,
That's
man.
for you, Lush.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Swiss Studios. Make sure y'all go tap in. One of my favorite companies. I go over there and tap in. That's where I get a lot of my shoes. That's where some of my people get their shoes. You know what I mean? We be tapping in. They got places in Cerrito Mall. You feel me?
Vegas, Cerrito, Irvine, Arcadia.
Yeah, exactly. Vegas. See, it's right there. Vegas, Cerritos, Irvine, and Arcadia. You feel me? all types of parts in California, and then in Vegas they got one in one of the biggest malls. So make sure you go tap in. Want people from Switch Studios, tell them DoKnow sent you. You might get a discount. You might not. Pay full price, you bitches. But make sure you go get your shoes. They got dope ass shorts that I wear to the gym all the time. They got hoodies. And my people is good people. They party and fuck hoes just like we do.
Come on.
They just businessman with a shoe shop and clothes. So make sure you guys go tap in with them. And Lush One approves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this shit hard.
Yeah,
I fucks
appreciate
with
you.
it. I fucks with it.
All right, Lush, I got to ask you.
Yes.
Drake.
Yeah, what about him?
What's up? You know Drake, dog?
I do.
Okay, talk to me about it, please.
So Drake is a big fan of battle rap, and he always has been. So first of all, Drake, obviously, you know he's from Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
I worked for a battle rap company that's based in Toronto, Canada.
Back in the day.
For several years. Yeah, back in the day.
What was this company called?
Called King of the Dot.
Okay.
The dot is T Dot. That's Toronto, right?
Oh, okay.
And because so here's the whole story. Back in the day, there is maybe 100 or 200
Battle rappers.
like active top tier battle rappers across the globe, and we all knew each other. We all like would see each other in person, battle against each other.
And you were one of them.
I was one of them, and my other homie, Organic from Toronto, he was one of them too. You feel me? And he started King of the Dot. My other homies and I started a company called Grind Time, and that was like what was popping.
Lush, you know what's crazy, dog? And this is gonna trip you out. When I was in middle school, I was a fan of battle rap. Nothing crazy. I like the funny part of it. Not too much the bars. And I didn't realize that was you, dog.
Word.
I didn't realize that was you when Dumbfounded was terrorizing fools.
Yeah.
And you guys were in grimy ass bando spots.
Right.
I didn't realize that was you, dog.
When did you put that together and figure it out?
Dog, when the Reddit.
Oh, for real?
No, when I heard you worked at Grime Time,
Yeah.
I went back to I had the same YouTube account.
Right.
And I have a video that I watched back in 2012, and
Right.
you were like, "It's time, grind time."
Yeah.
And then you would do and
Can I get a no?
and then you would be excessively actively your reactions were the best.
Yeah.
You would like always like grab one of your friends,
Yeah.
when Dumbfounded. Cause I'm a
That's
fan
what Super Hot Fire was making fun of with all those skits.
cause I'm a fan of Dumbfounded.
Right.
And there was a couple.
Speaking of Belmont High, K-Town.
And there was a couple other battle rappers. Obviously, Dumbfounded happened to be one of the more successful ones.
Yep.
You know, he came out. He was able to elevate to making real music.
Right.
I'm not saying battle rap isn't, but let's just be honest.
And not just do music, but doing acting and comedy.
Doing acting
like,
and then just being part of the Koreatown movement.
he is like a Koreatown legend, bro.
Yeah, Korea.
They got fucking billboards or what's it called, murals of him and all that shit.
Yeah, he's one of the first dudes that I see. I think his sister has a Koreatown tattoo on them.
Yeah.
And that shit is hard. But
He
yes.
got that across his chest. Yeah.
And you were one of the first. You were way skinnier.
I was way skinnier. I got chunky when I got sober.
Yeah, you were super baggy clothes.
Yep.
And I remember he would make a lot of the battle rappers that would come weren't from LA.
Right.
And I remember there's like a bar where like you're battling in a band in a bando, and I knew you got the reference when Dumbfounded told him like, yeah, you're the green salsa, not the red salsa.
Yeah.
And I'll do you grimy and drop you off in 18th Street and get your ass beat because you're not a real Mexican.
He said,
you know what I'm talking
I know
about?
exactly. He said something. He's like, you rap like you're from the East Coast, but I'm gonna take you to the East Los. I'm gonna drop you out from Boyle Heights because you lived a spoiled life, Chico. That's what he said to him.
And then he's like, you're the green sauce, not the red.
Yeah, he said he can't handle the red sauce. He eats the green sauce because he's weak sauce. That's what he said. Yeah.
So that's crazy. So yes, I remember that exact bar. And
the Boyle Heights shit was hard.
Yeah, and I thought that shit was because Dumbfounded was known for comedy as well.
Yeah.
And then I remember another where it was Dumbfounded and another Asian guy.
Tantrum.
And then he's like, you got molested in the 10th grade or something or some shit like that. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. At the age of 12, I'm just laughing because I'm discovering this new thing called battle rap.
Right.
Obviously there was other people, but obviously Grind Time was before Smack TV and shit like that.
Well,
Grind Time was one of the original because you guys were before K-Dot.
Yeah, it was like us at the same time, but they was up in Canada. So we were like popping in America.
In America, you guys were like the number one thing
right,
to
we
do
were
it.
for a long time.
What are some other famous battle rappers that came out of there?
Disaster, Daylight.
Disaster's fire.
You feel me? Conceited, you know, from Wildin' Out.
Yeah,
Conceited.
he came out of Grand Time.
Yeah, all these fools. There's a bunch of them, dog.
Wow.
You know?
That fool, that's fucked up. That's crazy because you thought I wouldn't know about this.
No, like it's a trip to me. I'm not surprised. I would have thought you did know.
Yeah.
To be honest with, because you're like a hip hop head. You're like
No, I'm not too much of a hip hop head, but I'm a fan of certain things.
No, like
battle rap is one of them.
Just based on the fact that you was, you know, bombing the city and all that shit, you more of a hip hop head than a lot of the other no jumper fools are. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, facts.
And I know, like, look, like I know kids where we're from, what they're into, and that's like a part of the culture, like slapping Psycho Realm, watching battle rap, catching spots, like that.
Yeah, battle rap, I think, and it's crazy to know that I just thought you guys were the creators of it. Like, I just always assumed that, like, I never paid too much attention about your battles because you were a judge.
Yeah, that was the main, because like I did the battling, but the main thing that I was known for
was being a judge.
Yeah, was hosting and putting people on and curating the events and all that. But it's funny to me that you didn't make the connection that it was the same person.
I didn't, dog, because you're like 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And then you're wearing crazy clothes.
Yeah.
And you look like a tiger from back in the day.
Right.
I knew you were from LA though because of when I don't know where everybody else is from that was a judge, but
most of them are from up north.
Okay. Yeah, so your reactions were a little different when Dumbfounded was saying certain bars. Because I think that's what you weren't biased, but Dumbfounded was from your area.
Yeah,
So you kind of understood when he was rapping certain shit.
It was speaking to me.
It was speaking to me.
He was talking
but
to me.
Dumbfounded had the power of talking about Koreatown, where people from Stockton could be like, "Oh, Koreatown in LA."
No, they don't get it.
And
I would live, because I moved up to, when I was 19, I moved up to the Bay Area and I lived in East Oakland and I started a whole rap group up there with the homies and shit. I was always back and forth between home and the Bay, but like I got really known and my whole career started blowing up there. So like when I came back down and started reuniting and connecting with fools from my area, I was like juiced on it.
Yeah,
like,
and then no, but what I'm saying is like I like to see the elevation, because honestly, Dumbfounded was the only person I would really watch.
Right.
I would just look up Dumbfounded battle raps and he was like terrorizing.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious as fuck. Dumbfounded, if you ever see this, I want to interview.
I'll tell him. That's my boy. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I remember seeing but I think Dumbfounded had the power of doing such a thing where he would say bars about LA and everybody else would get it just the way he delivered them. Yep. Like that Boyle Heights line, the way the crowd reacted. And you guys weren't even in LA, I think, when that battle rap happened.
We was in South Central.
Oh, you guys were in South Central?
That was in South Central.
Okay. But I think when he said that, I was like, oh my God, the reaction was dope as shit. But let's go back to Drake.
Yeah. So the Drake, because he was part of the Toronto hip hop scene, he was homies with my boy Organic that run KOTD. And then there was a battle event in 2011 towards the end.
And then you got hired for this event?
I actually just flew out to support because it was my boy's shit and I was gonna be co-hosting it. So I went out there on my own dollar and everything just to go fuck with him.
And then it's like Lush from LA's coming.
Yeah, exactly, which is a big deal. And Disaster was battling on the card. It was Disaster versus DNA. So that was like a big deal. That's like a big battle, right? And Drake, because Drake come out and said, I'm a fan of Disaster. He's like, I want to go see Disaster live, but nobody knew he was going to be there. So I get to Canada, I'm chilling. I'm just like chilling with these bitches, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And then my boy Organic's like, yo, I got a secret. I got a big surprise tomorrow. You can't say nothing. I'm like, what? He's like, Drake's coming to the event. And this is like right when...
Because he's a fan of Disaster.
Because he's a fan of Disaster, yeah. And he fucks with Organic. And this is right when the Take Care album came out. So Drake was already a huge star.
Drake is Drake at this point.
He's Drake, but he's nothing compared to what he is now. You feel me? Like now he's literally, besides Bad Bunny, the biggest artist in the entire world. You feel me? Like, but he's still a huge star. Like the song that had just come out at that time was I want this shit forever, man, ever, man. You know what I'm saying?
Last name ever, first name greatest.
Okay, so I got, funny you said that bar,
like
right?
A referee, I ain't nothing to play with.
Like a sprained ankle, boy, I ain't nothing to play with.
Like a sprained ankle, my boy. Yeah.
So he, referee would work too, though.
Yeah, referee would work too. Like.
So at the event, like the event's going normal, then all of a sudden, like, Drake, they smuggle Drake into the event and he pops up. He barely has any security. It's just like a few dudes with him and shit. He's chilling.
The Toronto Goons.
In Toronto, yeah, Toronto Goons, you feel me? But everyone's all juiced, like, oh, fucking Drake's here. This is crazy. And I'm like, I'm off some Molly at the time. So I'm smacked off a pill, right? I'm going like, and I'm drinking I was calling it alien juice, but it was really just like fucking vodka and lime juice.
Yeah.
But it looked like radioactive alien juice. And everybody, because the first picture you see with me and Drake, I'm holding this thing and they're like, yo, what's up with that? What are you drinking? And I was like, it's alien juice. So everybody for years asking me about alien juice. They thought there was acid in it. They thought there was Molly in it. Nah, motherfucker, it's just vodka. You feel me? Sidebar. Anyway, so I see Drake. He's chilling over there, and that song comes on, the Forever song, right? And then his verse starts coming on, right? And I walk up to him while his verse is playing, right? And remember, I'm off the pill, so I'm all fucked up.
So you don't give a fuck who it is.
I don't give a fuck, right? But I'm rapping. I start rapping his verse to him. You feel me? Like, and I'm like, and then I say like, everybody got a deal. I did it without one, right? But I say it like all exaggerated. I'm all, I did it without one. Like I say it like that, and he starts cracking up laughing, right? He starts laughing, right? Then he's like, Lush Uno. I'm like, Drake. He's all, I fucking love you. You feel me? Gives me like a dap and a big ass hug.
Yeah, because they didn't even dap up Adam. Fuck Adam's bitch ass. Have you seen the can I get it? Can I get it, please? Have I seen the picture of Adam and Drake meeting?
No.
I gotta show you this because it's like it looks like Drake's just like. What did he tweet out?
So we wound up kicking it that night. We just like watching the battles. We host together. We laughing. Everything's all cool. He winds up we eating pizza, all that shit. He winds up dipping. Then I party the next day.
Thank you.
That night.
Lush, you want the water?
No, I'm fine.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got this.
Okay.
I get on a flight, fly home, right? I land. I'm at the airport. I turn on my phone, go on Twitter, and it says like 650 notifications or some crazy shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
2011.
2011. I was like, what the fuck? I might have like 20 notifications. Like, this is crazy though, right? So I click. I'm seeing a bunch of retweets and shit, and it says Drake. I'm like, what the fuck? Then I go to his page. I see he's following me all of a sudden. Drake is following me. And it says, I am the light-skinned Lush one. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's fire.
I'm like, when am I going to get my Nicki Minaj lap dance? You feel me? You the light-skinned Lush one. But I'm not going to lie. I got a lot of pussy off of just that tweet.
You got a lot of... Drake has the power of just tweeting.
A tweet from Drake got me in the butt cheeks. You feel me? Some nice female butt cheeks. Let me clarify. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm about to say, let's be specific over here, brother.
Yeah.
Because how Terrell would say, pause.
Yeah. But, and then like he wound up being real cool. He shouted me out, tweeted me multiple times. We kicked it at a couple other events. He brought me out to his concert, brought me out to Boosie Bellows. We partied at his crib, knocked bitches at his crib, the whole nine.
You fuck hoes at Drake's crib?
Well, I got head at Drake's crib once. And
you didn't fuck hoes there,
No,
though.
I got head at Drake's crib. And then the second time, bro, this is crazy. So the second time, I had just got married. I'm divorced. So
you just recently divorced.
No, that was another chick. I got divorced in 2018.
And you got divorced again recently.
And then, recently, my girl broke up with me recently.
Real quick, was that no Jumper's fault that happened?
No.
Okay. No. Because I remember we were talking about it, and everybody's like, the Reddit found out who my girl was, and everybody.
Yeah, the Reddit found out who my girl was, and we're like harassing her and telling her to get back together with me, which wound up making it 100 times worse.
Okay, let's go back to Drake head.
But you feel me?
Getting head at Drake's house.
I'm a badass firme Chicana Highness. Holler at me, single. You feel me? You know what it is.
With the thought, you accept some thoughts?
I like them thickums. You feel me?
Okay,
More to love.
Talk your shit, Les.
More to love, baby. They've already been at me. Look, I already put out my, you feel me, my Latina call earlier.
Okay,
on
your
Adam's
Batman
show.
sign,
yeah.
Your little Hachiro sign.
You feel me? Bruh, I lived on Mala Vida, homie. But yo, check it out. So at Drake's crib, this is right after. Do you remember when he had the tour called Drake vs. Wayne? It was Lil Wayne and Drake, and they had like a whole.
What year was this?
2014.
I don't really remember. I was a Drake fan, but I wasn't too invested into.
Yeah, you're still young. You're like you're like 13, 14.
Yeah. Okay.
So he had this tour. It was called Drake vs. Wayne, and the whole concept of it was like he performed a song, then Wayne performed. You remember? Yeah. It was like Street Fighter, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But it was a whole tour in every city?
Yeah, in every city.
Okay, wow, that's crazy.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But here's the cold part of it. It was the original verses. It was like a sound clash.
But there was no winner really, right?
No. I mean, they're both fucking making.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, they're both, and I saw Drake's fucking bag of money that night. So like, that's a different, bro. Like, yo. Anyway, we'll get into that. So at this show, the whole reason he did it like that, Drake versus Wayne, is because he was a fan of battle rap. So that was him like kind of paying homage to battle rap. So he invited me and two of the other homies from battle rap to this show.
You Organic, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and my other homie Gully. Yeah, he flew Organic and Gully out from Canada, put him at the XS Hotel and all that shit. You feel me? We wind up going to the Greek Theater, really dope. You know Greek Theater. And shit, yeah. And they have their performance. Then we go backstage. He brings us backstage afterwards. Beforehand, like he sat us down and he said, "I'm gonna do a big event with you guys again. I'm gonna put up a bunch of money. I just got a huge deal." He had got a deal with Hulu at the time, which wound up not happening, but he thought it was gonna. It was like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. So we wind up.
So was battle rap kind of gonna be part of Hulu?
Battle rap wasn't gonna be part of Hulu, but he was gonna use battle rap to promote Hulu.
Wow. Okay. And this when Hulu's just starting.
It was like in its infancy.
Wow. Okay. Damn, this story's amazing. Has anybody ever heard this story?
No.
Yeah. Fuck you, community.
Yeah.
And fucking the VBC and No Jumper. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Shout
As
out
a
my
staff,
guys.
a record label, and as a motherfucking crew.
Yeah. And if you want to be down with them, fuck you too.
Yeah. Back on Fig.
Shout out Back on Fig.
Yeah, I actually like Back on Fig. I like all them shows.
Yeah, shout out Ace Boy World Pun. They haven't invited me, fucking assholes. Okay.
Smack is my favorite podcaster.
Smack's amazing.
He is literally my favorite podcaster, bro. He's the GOAT. So like we're backstage at his. I got limitless stories, dude.
Yeah, no, let's go ahead. We got 10 minutes on.
Yeah. So backstage at this show, and I'm like, again, I'm off ecstasy, so I'm starting to feel a little bit woozy.
Alien juice?
No alien juice.
No alien juice.
But I'm like sitting down and shit, and then like I see there's like a big ass Louis bag. And they open it up, and like that's how Drake got paid for this show. He had a Louis bag. The Louis bag itself, it was a big duffel bag. That bag probably cost 10 racks, and it just had like endless money in it. Like the whole thing was money.
And that was just Drake's part.
That's just Drake's part.
Lil Wayne had a different bag.
And I seen OVO Ryan, who's like one of the dudes that run OVO. Like we seen him checking it and all that shit. Like he's like because beforehand they're like, have you seen the Louis bag? And they're like, yeah, it's a really nice bag. No, a really nice bag. Then he opened it. I was like, fuck. Afterwards, we go to Boosie Bellows, turn it up with Drake's Pops, all that. Next day, we're invited to party at the mansion. Drake sends an Uber to the crib to pick up me and the homies. Pick us up. I had just got married maybe a week before this. So I'm not really trying to be
a fucking dirtbag.
I'm not trying to be a sucio like that.
Yeah,
right?
trying to be a dirtbag.
But I'm still like, damn, about to be partying with bitches at Drake's crib. So we go, pull up at like, as we get to, there's like a gated community. They're like, who are you here for? And we're like, Drake. And they're like, let us in, right? We go there. This fool's got the craziest mansion ever. Huge backyard, like water slide. All these bad bitches going on the water slide. Titties popping out everywhere. I'm like, yo, this is the craziest shit I ever seen. Some movie shit. These fools are like playing with a fucking, like a water pistol and like this a Nerf gun. It was like the most high-powered Nerf gun that shot like fucking 500 feet. I still haven't seen anything like it since. They're like having Nerf gun wars, like all this shit. I'm like, yo, this is so lit. Drake, as soon as he starts paying attention to us, all the bitches is on us and it's lit, right? By the way, me and Drake are Eskimo brothers. I fucked a bitch that he wound up fucking too. So, and I'm
not anybody can say that right there.
I'm the big Eskimo brother, and Wayne hit it too. So you.
Eskimo brother with Wayne and Drake. How bad is this bitch?
She pretty bad. I'll show you afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
And but that wasn't this night. But this night, this super bad light-skinned mixed girl, and she's like choosing up on me super tough, right?
Cause she see Drake.
She see Drake, she's like kicking it, and she's like, who's this guy? He must be important. Like, there's a studio in there. Like, I met 40. Like, 40 walked out the studio. You know, 40 is like, yeah. I'm like, he's right there. They're making music. Drake pops out the studio to kick it. He's like, let's have a drink. There's like a whole bartender set up. You feel me? Like, we have a drink together. We're kicking it. DJ's playing Young Thug. I'm like dancing to Young Thug.
In the life, man, the little man in the lifestyle.
Before it was that Metro Boomin' Want Some Mo. You feel me? The song that he took that drop from. And like, yeah, but we're turning up to all that shit. Wind up kicking it with Drake's manager for hours. Drake goes back in the studio. He's kicking it. By the end of the night, it's just me, the homies, and there's 2 bitches, right? And it's like, clearly it's time to leave because it's like 4 or something in the morning, right?
Where's Drake?
Drake went back in his studio. He disappeared. I don't know where. He probably wound up, he might be asleep at this point. I don't know. Yeah. The house is so big, he could just, Drake's the type of dude, when you partying with him, he's never going to tell you to leave.
Okay.
He's just going to disappear. And then at a certain point, someone's going to tell you to leave if you don't have enough common sense to leave on your own.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I know I'm getting the vibe like, okay, it's kind of time to leave. This bitch has been on me all night. She's been twerking on me, like rubbing on. Basically, it's cheating. You feel me? Already. Like, she's putting her titties on my head, like all that shit. But I haven't cheated, right? Then at the end of the night, these 2 chicks, and they're like, they live in Hollywood. They're like, so let's go back to my crib and kick it. She's like, and my homie's about to fuck one of them. The other homie, he's the fifth wheel. He's the odd man out, right? And then she's like, so what's up? You wanna come back and party with us? I get quiet for a second. I look at her, look at my homies.
You look up top to God like, God, will my wife forgive me?
Look at God, look back at the bitch, and I'm like, I don't think that my wife would appreciate that. And she's like, your wife, you feel me? And I'm just like, she's like, fuck you, right? So they're like, all right. Then I was like, but the homie, you should kick it with the homie, you feel me? He ain't got no pussy, you got a pussy, you feel me? Give him the pussy. So then they're like, all right, so my homie's gonna kick it with this bitch. Then I'm like, can you give me a ride home on the way? They give me a ride home, drop me off in the hood. Then they go to Hollywood. I get a call the next morning. They're like, they're like, pick us up. We're at McDonald's right now. Like, and I'm like, all right, for sure. Get to McDonald's, pick him up. The homie walks outside the McDonald's, starts yakking it, fool, right on the street. You know, the Hollywood McDonald's, right outside of it. Yakking on the streets. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong? He gets in the car. He said, that bitch. And he didn't say, because my girl was with me, so he didn't say that bitch that you were about to fuck. But he's all, that one bitch, I took down her drawers, and she's pretty as hell, right? And this is how cautionary tale, because you never know, right? He's like, man, I got in that pussy, and it fucking smelled so bad that, like, I almost passed out. That shit smelled like fucking tuna tartare con queso with a fucking side of stale macaroni. Like, it's the funkiest pussy this side of the Pacific Ocean, you feel me? That shit smelled like Flipper's Dead Homies. That shit smelled like sour cream. You feel me? Just like the funkiest, most rotten box in the entire world. That shit smelled worse than Flacco on the Monday show. You feel me? My boy Flacco, I'm just playing. So fucking, so what happened is he tried to fuck the bitch. His dick wouldn't even get hard because she smelled so bad. And then the next day he's in McDonald's trying to like eat off his hangover. And then he smelled his fingers and it smelled like her pussy. And that's when he walked outside and started putting.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Dog.
So I dodged a bullet.
Yeah, and you.
And there's some funky puss bitches at Drake's crib.
Yeah. I fucking love Lush, dog.
Come on, man.
The fact that you're in Eskimo Brothers with Drake and Wayne, I'm gonna have to put that in the title, Lush.
Exactly.
Eskimo Brother. Lush talks about smoking weed with a rabbi,
yeah,
fucking his secretary at his high school, and being Eskimo Brothers with Drake and Lil Wayne.
Bruh.
Oh my God, Lush. This has been, I ain't gonna lie, Lush. This has to be one of my best interviews I've ever done.
No, like one of my favorite pods ever. Dog.
This is crazy.
We got to get more shit popping.
We gotta do more shit on No Jumper. You gotta do some of the graffiti ones with me.
Yeah. 1,000. Like I said, like I come from the era back in the 90s. There wasn't no legal walls. There wasn't no like the art community, the Mocha, the MoMA. They wasn't putting graph in there. Graffiti was still on the outside. It was rebellious.
You guys were damn near fucking terrorists.
Yeah, exactly. We were looked down upon.
Yeah.
We were looked down upon. So.
All right, Les, before we get out of here, can I get a freestyle?
Let's go.
About whatever you want to freestyle about.
Okay.
It could be about your life, fucking the same bitch that's Drake, whatever. I'm
in the function, bitch. You know I'm checking hoes, sucker. It's Lush, a.k.a. Drake's Eskimo brother. And you know this, I gotta spit the free flow. I'm with my partner DoKnow and Montebello. Check hoes, cause I'm off of the dome. And if you see me in the street, best I'm popping my chrome. And you know this, bitches got halitosis, and I flow ferocious. And you know I'm on this. Check it out, you know that I'm running the street. Hoes want to see me when I'm puffing the trees, but I'm sober now. Travel like a Range Rover now. And you know, all these bitches, they just know my style. And check it out, because you know I got the best main. I'm with DoKnow, and we got the Chisme, because you know we got the gossip and we spreading the word. Everybody know they best respecting on my words that I'm kicking off the top. And you know I got the engineer. And if you're stepping up to Lush, you know the end is near. And you know you're like a blunt when I spark you. Shouts to the motherfucking homie Jakarta. He just came through. And you know I blaze cruise. I'm in a Lexus. It used to be a Prelude. Praise due to Jesus, because we was talking about religion. I used to be a junkie. I ain't have a pot to piss in. I didn't believe in God. I was a walking contradiction. And you know, I find my higher purpose to live in. I'm on the cut like circumcision, burning the ism. And yo, Lush and DoKnow, we learning a new religion, but we never be busting and rocking no true religion. Come on.
Oh, wow. This has been Chisme with DoKnow with Lush. Fucking one.
That's how we
Make
do,
sure you
man.
guys tap in. Oh my God, that has to be one of my favorite parts. And that was a great fucking ending bar.
Yeah, you feel me?
there.
Like chop it like a Cuisinart. I get your bitch and I bomb her walls like graffiti art. What?
There it is.
You feel me?
Oh, wow. This has been DoKnow with Lush fucking one. My guy, I appreciate you. He has to go to the Tuesday show right now, you guys.
yeah.
So I made it clear that I was gonna get him out of here by 3:30, so he has time to drive from the east of Los Angeles to the fucking city of fucking Burbank and
Burbank.
Yeah, and Burbank.
Barrio Burbank.
And so he has to go over there. Lush, I appreciate you. Anything you want to tell him about? Make sure you guys follow him at Lush1.
Yeah.
When the episode starts, you guys will see his thing, so you guys will just follow him. Everything, I'll put everything on his description. And tell me one of your favorite battle raps. Text it to me so I can put it in the description, just so people can go see what you've done before.
Okay, yeah. Peep game or one of my videos. Whatever.
Oh yeah, or one of your videos.
Yeah.
And then you said that a lot of the No Jumper fan has been checking out your old shit.
Yeah, all my shit's been running up. I don't know. Like, hey, look, man. I'm just on a ride. I'm not steering the ship. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm just on a ride. We going where it's. I know you can relate because you going crazy, and I was a fan of you before I met you.
That's
so
crazy.
The fact that we homies is a blessing.
Yeah. And then the fact that like you knew some of the people I grew up with, or just that I didn't really grow up with them, but they
watched you grow up.
Yeah, they watched me grow up, and then seeing you kind of like the world's just connected. Before we leave, top 3 battle rappers, and you kind of include yourself.
Can I include Disaster, or is that also not fair?
Yeah, but you can
That's my
include
brother,
Disaster.
you feel me?
Fucking Jakarta loves Disaster.
Okay.
He's like a fan of Disaster. He's the one that told me about the fight.
Dumb go crazy too. Okay.
He told me, he's the one that showed me the fight when Disaster shocked that one fool.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was right there for that too.
I know, you're fucking instigator.
Yeah.
Reverie, not Disaster.
Oh man,
you piece of shit.
Oh man. Now my top 3 favorite, I'm gonna have to say Disaster, Free the Homie Sue Surf. You feel me? Like and my boy Arsenal. You feel me?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my top 3?
Yeah.
My top 3 battle rappers, I would say Dumbfounded, because he's probably one of the ones that and this is not in order. Dumbfounded.
Dumb's a goat, yeah.
Dumbfounded, I would say as a group, like who I like individually. I say I'm gonna give you more than 3 because I have a lot. I would say Dumbfounded. One of my favorite battle raps of all time that I've seen is Chess and Rock go at it with
they do a lot of shit together.
Chess and Rocks went at it with Loaded Lux and the dude that used to be a lean sipper.
Hollow.
And Hollow. That's one of my favorite battle raps.
I need Hollow on my top.
Oh, you know Hollow? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, out of mine, I'm gonna say Rock. I like Rock's delivery.
Rock is the man.
I like Rock's delivery.
Rock is the man.
I'm a fan of DNA.
DNA the man.
Charlie, Clips, and Goods when they went at it again.
So you were a real battle rap head.
When they went at it with Suge and Arsenal.
Yep.
I think Arsenal carried that team. Suge, you fucked that up.
Come on, Suge.
Because Charlie, Clips, and Goods was just Charlie Clips was fucking y'all up.
Clips go crazy.
Clips go crazy. And I would say Sue Surf.
Sue Surf go crazy. Daylight, you feel me?
Daylight's cool. One of my favorite
Bill Collector, Reed Dollars.
Yeah, one of my favorite battle raps. This will end it off.
Calico.
You remember when DNA went at him with Locke?
Of course.
And then Diddy was in the stands.
Yeah.
And then he said that bar where Locke couldn't. Why do you think Locke couldn't come back from it? DNA was just too good, or
are you talking? Wait, you're talking about the DNA versus
Locke?
No.
Yeah, when he said the Diddy bar, and he's like, how'd you get a deal? Enes, sorry, like Loch Ness, but they would okay, my fault.
Yeah, Loch Ness. Yeah,
see, that's how much I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Shout out DNA.
You know, Enes go crazy too, but I think that it was just that environment. You feel me? There's a lot of politics. Philly, New York. That shit's in New York. So.
Oh, and DNA's from New York.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's weird energy.
But Enes was signed to Bad Boy.
He was signed to Bad Boy.
And
he was on that show, the Making the Band show.
And then it didn't go nowhere.
It didn't go nowhere.
And then that was just everything was a. What's the worst bar anybody ever said to you?
To me, or just in general that I ever heard.
What's the worst bar? Like something where you were like, "Oh, you motherfucker!"
Okay,
I will punch the shit out of you if we didn't sign a contract.
Oh, right so now. Like the most disrespectful.
Most disrespectful
to me.
To you. Most disrespectful.
Oh, you know what? Really, this was crazy, right? So I was battling against Dumbfounded and Satire. It was me and my partner, FLO, and he's from Oakland. And I was living up in the Bay at the time. So I was like, even though we were battling in West LA, literally like a mile from where I grew up at, but I was like on some Bay shit because I was with the Bay homies down there. Right? And I'm battling, and I don't know what this shit really, and I was like, I came to this battle expecting to fight. I had the brass knuckles on me. I wasn't friends with Dumbfounded and Satire yet, and they're close friends of mine now. I consider them brothers. At the time, I was like, everyone from the LA battle scene I considered ops.
Yeah. You're like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, this is 2007, right? And I was like, I'm more LA than all y'all, but it's still fuck y'all, right?
Yeah.
And I had the brass knucks in my pocket. They were brass knucks that were a belt buckle, but they were really brass knucks.
Yeah.
So this fool Satire said, "You're gonna die like Mac Dre, because you're from the Whack Bay." But him dissing Mac Dre, I felt was so disrespectful. That shit really got me out myself to the point where you can watch the battle and see to this day. You see, he says that. You see my face change. You see my hand go in my pocket and pull out something shiny. You feel me? Like, I had the motherfucking brass nuts. I had the brass nuts for my brother Satire. I love you though, fool.
Yeah, man. Well, Les, I appreciate you. I had an amazing time. I think this has been like. It's one of my best interviews, and also I've been watching you on the Jumper, and I've been learning a lot from you, bro. I've been learning a lot from you podcasting. I know you barely just started.
Yeah.
Well, you were doing God Tier, but I know you're on multiple shows now, and I've been watching you, and I've been learning a lot. I like how there's somebody that I can super relate to. Obviously, I can relate to Tyrell and AD. And,
right.
And just everybody, we're all like a big family.
Right.
Different walks of life and stuff like that. But you, the graffiti, when we talked about
Psychoram,
it's been amazing to have somebody that is a little closer to home be around. So I appreciate that
funky,
and your energy. Man, this has been Chisme with DoKnow with Lush fucking Uno. You feel me? The one Drake wanna be. Lil Wayne and Drake's Eskimo brother. He didn't fuck no stinky pussy because he a married man. You know what I mean? He smoked crack and got his dick sucked by his secretary at a fucked up school that's now a medical shop. Go get your weed. And yeah, we out this motherfucker. Look at the description and go follow Lush One on all platforms. You can catch him on the Tuesday show on No Jumper. Every once in a while, he'll have interviews as well. You done a lot of shit. He just interviewed the Snoop Dogg's blunt roller. And bow.
Buenas noches, camaradas. Come on.
Share.